Welcome back. All right, so 5 games tonight in the National Hockey League, so 2 boards. I had thought about trying a 5 game board, but then there's a lot less room to write, and I knew it was going to take a lot of notes because there's only 5 games on. All right, so starting things off, we're going to talk about Anaheim and Detroit. So I made a video on Anaheim. Now they've won back-to-back games. You're welcome, Anaheim fans. You guys told me a week ago you didn't want to see a video on the Ducks. See if I'd done it a week earlier. Who knows? Dostal versus Husso. My videos have no effect. So Gudas would open the scoring for Anaheim from Leeson and Henrique at 2:23. It was a brief press by the Ducks, and it's wired from the slot. So nice goal there by Gudas, and it's 1-0 for the Ducks. The Wings look to answer. There's a press by Detroit at 4 minutes. Terry nearly scores on a rebound. The shots on net are 4 apiece at 6 minutes. And then at 8:19, it's Mintyukov scoring from Leo Carlson. It's a screenshot that deflects in off of Larkin. So no chance for Husso there. We get a power play for Detroit. DeBrincat has the chance that deflects out. Power play's killed off. The Ducks rush the other way. Wings are line juggling already at this point. Shots are 8 apiece with the 5 minutes left. We get a power play for Anaheim. There's a shorthanded rush for Comfer. And then Husso ends up exiting hurt. And it's just one of those plays where it didn't look like much, but he ends up coming out of the game, so Reimer was in. With 1:54 left, the Ducks get their second power play of the game. They score on this one. It's Henrique. After his hat trick last night, he gets another here. Fowler with the assist at 18:47, and it was a nice shot pass by Fowler to get it to Henrique, and Henrique deflects it in. So it's 3-0 Anaheim after one. Early in the second period, it becomes 4-0. Terry scores from Vakanainen and Killorn at 1:46. The Wings turned it over, and Terry buries a rebound there, so he's got goals in back-to-back games too. However, Detroit starts their comeback here. At 2:29, Petrie scores from Kopp and Kane, and that got the fans into it. Nice goal by Petrie. Believe that's his first as a Red Wing. We get a press by the Wings at 4 minutes, so, some momentum here. Petrie has a wraparound that saved. Siders denied from the slot. Ducks cleared out. Blocker save on Andrew Kopp. The Wings draw a power play. That's killed off. Costin gets shaken up on a Gudas hit. He tried to get up. He couldn't. It didn't look great. Hopefully, it's not as bad for Costin as it looked there. Ducks press with 8 minutes left. The shots are 10-6 for the Wings with 6 minutes left. With 2:58 left, Wings get a power play. Kane has a blast that's held. There's some pushing, and it becomes 4-on-4 for 42 seconds. So to start the third period, it's a 21-second power play for the Ducks. The Wings do finish the kill, so it's still a 4-1 game for the Ducks. 2 minutes of 4-on-4 follows that. Sider has a rush chance. That's blocked. We get a power play for the Wings, and they score on it. It's DeBrincat from Kane and Gostisbehere at 7:15. So it was a good cycle. It's buried, and that's what you wanted. You wanted Kane to tee it up for DeBrincat, and there it is. Things get pushy and punchy on a Reimer hold. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Wings press with 8 minutes left. They end up drawing themselves a power play. That's killed off, but the Wings had some momentum coming out of that. Wings go back to the power play, and it's a 4-minute power play. So it becomes a 6-on-4. There's about 3.5 minutes left, and at 17:32, DeBrincat scores from Gostisbehere and Larkin, and it took a while for them to decide whether or not the first power play had ended. So the first 2 minutes, they decided that it had. So we go back to 5-on-5, and the Ducks don't give the Detroit Red Wings much from there, in that Detroit does get the goalie pulled, but they're not able to generate anything that gets them that goal. So your final score is 4-3 for the Ducks. They go to 12-19 with the win. For Detroit, this is a tough loss. They're 15-12-4 with the loss. Shots on net, 10-9 Anaheim in the first, 11-8 Detroit in the second, 12-4 Detroit in the third. Final shots, 32-22 for the Wings. Power plays, Anaheim 1 for 3, Detroit 2 for 7. The hits were 13 apiece. Dostal saves 29 out of 32. Husso had saved 6 out of 8 at the time he got hurt. Reimer saved 12 out of 14 in relief. So, hopefully Husso's not out for that long. Remember, they're already down Lions, so the team with 3 goalies now has 1. All right, next up. Minnesota and Pittsburgh. So could the Wild keep their momentum going? Short answer, no, but let's talk about it. So it's Gustafsson versus Nedeljkovic. There's an early press by the Wild. Goligoski has a rebound chance. That's held. There was a post for Middleton. Shots on net are only 1 apiece at 4 minutes, but it was pretty good action. Penguins press at 6.5 minutes. The Wild block. Faber clears. Pretty evenly played until at 7:39. It's a forecheck that allows this to happen. Smith from Puustinen and Pettersson. So Pittsburgh, pretty aggressive play, ends up getting them the lead early on. Harkins is then robbed as the Penguins look for more. O'Connor has a net drive. That's blocked. There's a near miss for Raquel. Pettersson has a shot that's held. Kaprizov goes beast mode, but he gets blocked away from the net. The Wild picked it up in the second half, but with 1:13 left, the Penguins draw a power play. So they're leading 1-0 after one. Power play rolls over into the second period, and they score. Gensel from Carlson and Crosby at 36 seconds. It's a point shot that deflects in, and suddenly it's 2-0, and suddenly that power play doesn't look so bad. Merrill has a shot that's held as the Wild press, and then Malkin on a cross-ice pass, he buries it into an open net. Puustinen, who's been all over the board since joining the team. Pettersson with the other assist at 3:34. Shots on net are 3-2 for the Wild at 5.5 minutes, which means that the only two shots Pittsburgh's had have gone in the net. We get a power play for the Penguins. That's killed off. The Wild then get a turn on the power play. That's killed off as well. Pressed by the Wild with 8 minutes left. The Wild go back to the power play. That's killed off. But not long after it's done, Hartman would score for Minnesota from Faber and Johansson at 15:06. Penguins would press for a response, but Middleton buries a loose puck from Boldy and Kaprizov at 17:30. It's suddenly a 3-2 game in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. 1:08 left, we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4, and then with 34.2 seconds left, it becomes a 4-on-3 power play. So that rolls over into the third period. Crosby's denied and close. The Wild do finish the kill there. There's a post for Gensel afterwards, and then the Wild clear it out. The Wild press at 3.5 minutes. Eventually, they get one. It's Lettieri from Merrill at 5:53, so it's a 3-3 tie, but Pittsburgh gets a power play, and they score on it. It's Crosby from Gensel and Malkin at 6:18. Penguins then look for another. They have their momentum back. Get a power play for the Wild. That's killed off. 7:30 left. The Penguins get a power play. That was killed off as well. Goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left, and Nedeljkovic tried for the empty netter, but he misses wide. So your final score is 4-3 for Pittsburgh. They go to 14-13-3 on the season. Minnesota 12-13-4 with the loss. Shots on net 13-8 Pittsburgh in the first, 8-7 Minnesota in the second, 11-10 Minnesota in the third. Final shots 30-27 for the Penguins. Power plays 0-3 for Minnesota, 2-5 for Pittsburgh. The hits 10-7 for Minnesota. Gustafsson saves 26 out of 30. Nedeljkovic saves 24 out of 27 at the other end. So entertaining game, absolutely. And in the end, your winner is Pittsburgh. All right, next up, Montreal and Winnipeg. So I did hear the term trap game used to describe this during the broadcast. I don't think after Winnipeg lost to San Jose last week, anything should be a trap game. I think after you lose against San Jose, you realize, hey, anybody can beat you on any given night. So it's Allen versus Hellebuck. Niederreiter has a shot kicked aside. Shots are one apiece 4 minutes in. Strong back checking by the Habs. Morrissey has a shot that's held as the Jets press. A net feed to Ehlers gets picked off. Gouli has a blast. That's held by Hellebuck. Monahan to Evans gets picked off. The Jets rush the other way. The shots are 5-3 Winnipeg with 8 minutes left. Near miss for Anderson on a wraparound. Perfetti hits a post. Niederreiter's denied and close as the Jets press, but it's scoreless after one. Second period. Power play for Winnipeg. Morrissey has a shot that's blocked. There's a shorthanded chance for Dvorak. That's held. Power play's killed off. Habs press at 4 minutes, and eventually they score on a failed clear. Anderson scores from Matheson and Evans at 4:57. So there's Josh Anderson with another. He's heating up. So yeah, that's and again, it goes in off of him, but that's how it works. When you're a goal scorer, suddenly the puck's just bouncing in off of you. You can't get a goal for like 95,000 games, and all of a sudden, puck's following you. So the shots are 5-2 for Montreal at 5.5 minutes. And if you listened to the crowd and you weren't watching the game, you didn't realize where it was, you would have thought it was in Montreal. Jets press at 7 minutes. They're kept to the outside. There's a near miss for Janssen Fjallby. The Habs continue their blocking and really good checking. It's about work ethic. With the teams that are at the bottom that may not have, or even just some of the teams that are below the midway mark of the league in the standings, it's about hard work. You have to outwork your opponent. I thought Montreal did that tonight. So Evans is denied on a rush. There's a power play for Montreal. The Habs score. Hellebuck says hand pass. It's called a goal, and the Jets challenge. Honestly, I understand it wasn't enough to overturn. I didn't think it hit his stick. So Anderson gloves it down off his stick to Dvorak is the call. I didn't think it hit Anderson's stick, but again, was it definitive? Even on my TV, I'm going to say it not definitive. But anyways, Dvorak gets the goal, so that counts. Means the Habs go to the power play because the Jets challenged it. Anderson and Gallagher with the assists at 15:04. But the Jets do kill off that power play, so it's still 2-0 Montreal. And then at 19:04, Velarde buries one from the side of the net. He's heated up. Morrissey and Ehlers with the assists. Makes it 2-1 for Montreal after 2. Third period, early Jets power play. Morrissey takes a puck to the cheek. That looked like it hurt. He would come back, of course. Scheifele couldn't bury one. Puck's cleared out. That power play's killed off. The Habs rush the other way. Pionk has a screenshot that saved as the Jets get some pressure. Shots are 7-1 Winnipeg 7 minutes in, so they tried. The Habs press with 9 minutes left, but at 12:24, Perfetti buries a rebound at the net. Nemesnikov and Dillon with the assists, and then with 27 seconds left, the Habs get a power play. So we end up going to the overtime. Habs control early. They set up. There's a timeout called at 49 seconds by the Habs, and then at 1:09, so still on the power play, Barron scores from Caulfield and Suzuki. He buries that one from the high slot. So in the end, Montreal wins 4-3 because that was the storyline tonight, and it would continue. Everything's 4-3. And with that overtime win, Montreal 14-13-4. Winnipeg drops to 18-9-3. So last week it was a loss against San Jose that hurt them in the power rankings. This week it's an overtime loss against Montreal. Full disclosure though, I didn't drop them in the rankings tonight. So anyways, shots on net, 6-5 Winnipeg in the first, 14-11 Montreal in the second, 15-5 Winnipeg in the third. Montreal had both shots in the overtime, including the one that matters. Final shots, 32-26 Winnipeg. Power plays, Montreal 2 for 3, Winnipeg 0 for 2. Hits 26-21 for Montreal. Allen saves 30 out of 32. Again, excellent game by Jake Allen. Hellebuck 23 saves on 26 shots at the other end. All right, last game on this board. Seattle in against Dallas. This one this one I got kind of irritated towards the end. We'll get there. So it's Decord versus Wedgwood. It's 1:14 into the game when Dallas scores. It's Duchesne from Sagan and Marchment into an open net. It's a 2-on-1 rush. No chance for Decord. Suter has a screenshot that's held. Wedgwood gets shaken up on a shot. It hit him in the high shoulder right about here, and every Dallas fan just holds their breath for a moment because, I mean, Matt Murray may end up being a really good goalie, but you don't want him to be your starter if you're, in the midst of your run before Christmas. So Wedgwood gets up. He does stay in the game. So Dallas fans can relax a little bit. Shots are 6-3 for the Kraken 4.5 minutes in. Smith has a 3-on-2 chance. That's kicked aside. We get a power play for Seattle. That's killed off. Sagan has a chance that's caught and held. Kraken press at the half, but on a fast break, Robertson makes it 2-0. Pavelski and Hintz with the assists at 10:20 because who else would it be assisting on a Robertson goal? The Kraken would press to close out that period, but yeah, it was a good period for Dallas. They're leading 2-0 after one. We go to the second. Heiskanen has a shot that's blocked early, and then the puck goes the other way, and Tatar scores. Beniers with the assist at 31 seconds, and it goes through Wedgwood on the rush. Hanley flattens Tanev. Great hit by Hanley, clean hit. Tanev gets flattened. He's okay. Kraken press at 4.5 minutes. The Stars draw a power play, or they would have. During the delayed call, they score. Duchesne with the second of the game. Pavelski and Dodonov with the assists at 6:19. So that makes it 3-1 Dallas. Beniers is denied and close. That's held, and then at 13:48 on a rush, Beniers scores from Eberle and Tatar. So that one's from the slot, and Tatar with a goal and an assist. I think he's enjoying it in Seattle right now. Robertson's denied on a fast break. We get a delay game call. The Kraken with a power play. That's killed off. With 20.2 seconds left, the Stars get a power play. So that rolls over into the third period where all the power plays take place. So McCann won't return. Belmar won't return. The Kraken do finish the kill, but without McCann and Belmar, they're short 2 forwards. Stars go back to the power play. Harley has a blast that's held. That power play's killed off as well. There's a power play for Seattle after that. Spoiler alert, that's killed off as well. Stars have a 3-on-2 that misfires. The Stars press after. Seattle, though, they're doing a good job of forcing turnovers at this stage. We get a power play for Dallas again, and it's also a no in terms of getting a goal. Gord bumps into Wedgwood, which drives Dallas nuts, and understandably, he needs to be surrounded with bubble wrap. So the Mortal Kombat music plays. I like it. Anyways, so it becomes 59 seconds of 4-on-4, and then it's a Kraken power play, but everything's killed off there. We're down to 4.5 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 1:05 left, and I could feel it. I knew it was coming, right? I was like, and when they failed to clear it in the last minute, I might have said a couple of words I can't say in this video. But yeah, Tolvanen ends up scoring from Wenberg and Bjorkstrand at 19:38, and the Stars are running around. It's a tie game. We go to overtime. Stars control early, Kraken take over. There's a post for Beniers during that. Beniers has a wraparound that save. Johnston had a rush chance. That's held. And then nice setup by Duchesne, and Harley tips it in at the net. Duchesne and Ben with the assists at 2:16. Dallas survives a bit of a scare against the Seattle team they're supposed to beat. Seattle loses this one 4-3. They drop to 10, 14, and 9 with the overtime loss. For Dallas, they're 18, 8, and 4. Shots on net, 13 apiece in the first. 14-10 Seattle in the second. 10-4 Seattle in the third. Both teams had a shot in overtime. Dallas the one that matters. Final shots, 38-28 for Seattle. Both teams go 0 for 4 on the power play. Hits, 19-18 Seattle. Decord saved 24-28. And Wedgwood, 35 saves on 38 shots. Entertaining game. A little too entertaining for me as a Dallas fan, but at any rate, let's go to the next board. All right, Florida. So this trip through Western Canada hasn't been very fruitful for them either. They do get the win over Edmonton, sandwiched in between losses against Vancouver and Calgary. They don't get shut out tonight, but it's close, right? So Stolarz versus Markstrom in this one. Early edge for the Flames. We get a power play for Florida. That's killed off. Flames then get their turn, which happened all night. There was alternating power plays. It's like they watched the Dallas-Seattle game and went, yeah, we can do that. So shorthanded Barkov chance is saved. That power play is killed off. Shots are 4-2 for the Flames at 7.5 minutes. And then on a rush, Pospisil at 8:45 buries one. Kadri and Gilbert with the assists. Panthers press for response. Uyghur has a screenshot. That's held. Bennett had a shot kicked aside. It's cleared out after that. Panthers press with 6.5 minutes left. There's a power play for the Flames. That becomes a minute and 22 seconds of 4-on-4, which means it's a power play on the other side for Florida, and they score on it. Reinhart from Tkachuk and Barkov at 19:29. So Matthew Tkachuk with an assist, and every time he touched the puck, Flames fans let him know just how much they appreciated his service. So it's 1-1 after one. Second period, early press by Florida. Kulikov has a rush chance. That deflects wide. Luostarinen has a shot that's sent to the corner. Strong forechecking by the Panthers at this point. Huberdeau has a net feed. That's blocked. We get a power play for Kadri, or for the Calgary Flames. Kadri has a shot that's blocked. That power play is killed off. Kadri's not the team. Not sure why I said, maybe I'll just say I'm tired. Sure, that works. Or I'm old. Either one. Old or tired. And sometimes those go hand in hand. So the shots are 2-1 for Florida at 9.5 minutes. Not the most exciting period of hockey to that point, but the second half kind of made up for it. So Anderson's denied and close. Stenlund has a shot that saved. The rebound's held. The Panthers press with 6.5 minutes left. The Flames are getting pinned down for a while there. They were very lucky. Hanifin has a shot tipped wide. It's cleared out. Lomberg has a net drive. That saved. There's an arm save on a Hanifin chance as the Flames are pressuring. Pospisil with a shot that's held. It stays 1-1 after 2. Third period, early power play for Calgary. There's a kick save on Uyghur. That power play is killed off. And then the Panthers, they get a turn on the power play, which leads to a shorthanded goal. It's Backlund from Hanifin at 3:31. Just a backhand on a fast break. Filthy goal by Backlund. And then, most importantly, the Flames finish the kill. Fans call one. The referee doesn't. Backlund has a turnover chance. That's held. There's a power play drawn by the Flames. That leads to a shorthanded 2-on-1. Forsling has a chance that's saved. That power play ends up being killed off. Panthers get a turn. There's a shorthanded rush by Backlund. He just near miss on that one. They do kill that power play, though. 2 shots on that one. The ref is told that he sucks because of a missed high stick, but honestly, so many players out on the ice. I don't get on a ref for missing a high stick. Shots are 8-6 for the Flames with 4.5 minutes left. 2:13 left. It becomes a 6-on-4 with a delayed game. They already had the goalie pulled by that stage, which means an empty net goal of sorts. Coleman gets credited with a goal because he gets mugged, trying to get the empty netter at 18:24. He was going to get the empty netter if he wasn't mugged, so therefore they can award the goal. And that makes your final score 3-1. Calgary goes to 13, 14, and 5 with the win. The Florida Panthers 18, 11, and 2 with the loss. Shots on net 15-9 for Florida in the first, 9-7 Florida in the second, 11-8 Florida in the third. They outshoot Calgary 35-24. Power plays 1 for 5 for Florida, 0 for 5 for Calgary. Hits 15-13 and 15-12. 15-12 in favor of Calgary. I can read my own writing, I promise. Stolarz 21 saves on 23 shots, and Markstrom 34 saves on 35 shots. And again, I'm trying to use the orange markers because I have them. I've had them for years. I've had these markers for 4 years. I want to use them and get them out. They will only be used, though, at the bottom of the board. I promise it won't be the whole board. And I won't be using it for, when I'm doing a whole invasive look at a team and every part of a team. Here's orange, so you can gouge your eyes out watching the video. Anyways, there you go. You guys are all caught up. Let me know your thoughts regarding these games in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you have not done so already. I appreciate it if and when you do. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.